Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. The text arrived while I was tying my tie in the bedroom mirror. Don't come tonight. It's just work, people. You'd be bored. I stared at the message longer than necessary, the blue glow of my phone turning my reflection pale. We had been married 8 years. In all that time, she had never once asked me not to show up somewhere important to her. I typed, deleted, typed again. I want to meet the people you spend all day with. 3 dots appeared. Disappeared. Then fine. If you really want to. That should have been nothing. A normal exchange between spouses. But something inside me shifted, small, quiet, like a glass developing a crack you can't yet see. The restaurant was louder than I expected. Silverware clinking. Low music humming under conversations that overlapped like static. She waved when I walked in, her smile quick and careful. The kind you give a stranger you're trying to impress. Not the one she used to give me across grocery store aisles. I kissed her cheek. She smelled like the perfume she saved for important meetings. Hey, I said softly. Hey, she replied, already glancing past me toward the entrance. Her phone lay face down on the table. That was new. Lately it was always face down. I told myself not to notice. Her coworkers were polite in the distant, professional way people are when they're measuring you. I shook hands, repeated my name, answered the same questions, what I did, how long we'd been married, whether we had kids. Every answer felt like proof of something I didn't understand yet. Then her boss arrived. He was taller than I expected. Confident in the effortless way some men are, like the room adjusts itself for them. He put a hand lightly on her shoulder when he greeted her. Too familiar. But maybe that was just how he was with everyone. I told myself not to notice that either. We all sat. Menus opened. Drinks ordered. Conversation drifted. And then he looked at me with a polite smile and said one simple sentence. I've heard so much about you. Mostly that you're very patient. The table chuckled softly, like there was a joke I had missed. I smiled too, because that's what you do when you don't understand why something hurts. But inside, the crack in the glass spread. On the drive home, she talked too much. About work. About a new project. About how stressful everything had been. Her words felt rehearsed, like lines delivered slightly too fast. I kept hearing that sentence again. Very patient. Patient about what? I wanted to ask. Instead, I watched the streetlights slide across the windshield like slow, silent accusations. When we reached home, she went straight to the shower, saying she smelled like food. She took her phone with her. Another small thing. Another crack. Suspicion doesn't arrive as a storm. It seeps in like cold air under a door. Over the next week, I noticed everything I had trained myself not to see before. Missed calls she wouldn't explain. Messages she angled away from me. Late meetings that smelled faintly of the same cologne her boss wore. Each detail alone meant nothing. Together, they formed a shape I was afraid to name. The worst part wasn't anger. It was the quiet voice asking, what if this is my fault? What if I had worked too much? Listened too little, loved her in ways that were steady but invisible. Doubt is cruel like that. It makes you prosecute yourself before anyone else can. I found the truth on a Tuesday night. She had fallen asleep on the couch, TV murmuring softly to an empty room. Her phone rested loosely in her hand. I didn't want to look. I told myself trust meant walking away. But trust had already been bleeding out for weeks. All I did was finally look at the wound. The messages weren't dramatic. No declarations of love. No grand plans. Just intimacy. Inside jokes. Complaints about me written in a tone I had never heard from her face. And one message from him. He really is patient. I don't know how he doesn't see it. My chest didn't explode. I didn't shout. I just sat there very still, feeling 8 years rearrange themselves into something unrecognizable. When she woke up, I was still on the chair across from her. She saw my face and understood immediately. Some truths don't need words. How long? I asked quietly. She covered her mouth, tears already forming. A few months. Months. While we ate dinner together. While we planned vacations. While she told me she loved me in the dark. Why? The question came out smaller than I meant it to. She cried harder. Said she felt invisible. Said work was easier than home. Said she didn't know how to stop once it started. None of it sounded like a villain's speech. Just a person who got lost and didn't turn back in time. That almost hurt more. We talked until morning. About love. About loneliness. About the slow ways marriages break without anyone noticing the sound. She said she was sorry. Over and over. And I believed she meant it. But remorse doesn't rewind time. It only proves you understand what you destroyed. 2 weeks later I packed a suitcase. Not angrily. Not dramatically. Just quietly, like closing a book you once loved but can't read the same way again. At the door she asked if this was really the end. I thought about our first apartment. Our wedding song. All the ordinary Tuesdays that used to feel permanent. I don't know, I said honestly. But I know I can't stay and slowly disappear. She nodded like she understood the language of loss now. The hardest part of betrayal isn't the moment you discover it. It's the mornings after, when the world keeps going like nothing happened, and you have to decide who you are without the life you planned. I'm still learning that answer. But I know this much. Patience isn't love. Silence isn't forgiveness. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away before what's left of your heart forgets how to feel.